I will never forget that day. For it was then that I chose the path I would walk for the rest of my life.
Time to decide on our major. The 3 lots. There are only a few days left until the Imperial College entrance exam. History, law, theology. You spend all day reading and rereading the books you brought with you, staying at the Library of Eterna for hours, sometimes until it closes. As the day of the exam approaches, your hands start shaking more and more. And finally, the day comes. A clear sky hangs over Eterna today. The breeze is warm. You dress in your best outfit, a gray jacket and velvet culottes? Trousers? I'm not a noble, I don't know these fancy fabric names. You comb your hair carefully and polish your boots until they shine. You leave the lodging house and head for the Imperial College. Your legs grow heavier with each step. Your anxiety at the fact your fate will be decided today is virtually tearing you apart. The college is majestic. A majestic building that looks not unlike a castle. In the square in front of it, you can already see several dozen people, young men, sons of nobles of the mantle like you, waiting for the college's doors to open. Time slows to a crawl. At last the doors open. A stately man dressed in a professor's mantle appears at the entrance. He is the dean of the college. The students to be fall silent as the dean gets ready to deliver his welcoming speech. But the silence is interrupted by heavy footsteps and clanking armor. A squadron of warriors emerge near the college, led by Arcanian officers. The banner bears an image of golden grains. The noble militia of Monia Province? What are they doing here? The nobles of Monia form a circle around the college, each warrior moving quietly and precisely until a chain is formed. One of the Arcanians is clad in an old-fashioned suit of armor. He is the leader of the militia. He locks the bar on the massive doors of the college into place, then proceeds to the stairs to address the crowd loudly.
Commoners! Before you stands Igerius of Monroog Dynasty, Archduke of Monia. By my will, the college is hereby closed. Today's entrance exam is cancelled. Your lowly origins make you unfit for the great honor of rendering service to the Empire. A right that ought to be available only to the hereditary nobles of the sword. The college's reputation has been tarnished. It breeds mock nobles who bear not a trace of noble blood. You belong in the lowly estate, but have forgotten your place. Cornelius Tempest and other traitors to the Empire are indulging you, and defacing the institutions of the nobility for their lowly interests. A noble lot for those of lowly birth, how can this be? I will not stand for this disintegration of the Imperial Order. Now turn away from the college this instant and return to the humble trades of your ancestors. Plough your fields, mend your boots, and work and suffer by your lot. If any of you dares to set foot upon these stairs, you will be killed at once. The students-to-be meet this speech with a stunned silence. The crowd in the square is growing, however. The news of Monian noble militia and the college's closing spreads through the streets like wildfire. More humans join the crowd. College students, commoners, officials who worked hard to be enrolled. Or ennobled, but enrolled works well too. Unrest grows around you. You hear people calling to rush Archduke Monroog's forces to take control of the college and defend your right to become noble. The Emperor himself gave us this right. We have to fight for it. This is a decisive moment for all of you. The old gentry has challenged you. Will you accept this challenge? In the face of this shameful, illegal act by the Archduke's forces,
you may prove that all of you deserve the noble lot. You'll need to break through the cordon, get inside the college, and take control of it. The nobles will never dare hurt you if your presence is strong enough. If you're ready to risk it all and fight for your right to the nobility, you will have to lead the charge. People keep coming to the square in the meantime, including students and teachers from the Divine Seminary. The lot of the clergy is to guide others to the right path. When the estates clash, the priests are bound to intervene. The seminary teachers instruct their students to form a line between the noble and militia, and the outraged crowd. The priests begin telling the warrior nobles and the riotous commoners to return to the preordained divine order, lest they provoke the wrath of the gods. The wrath of the gods. As the priests utter these words, the crowd around you disappears. A vision appears before your eyes. The empire is ablaze. You see burning lands steeped with pain and despair everywhere. You look rivers overflowing to extinguish the burning world. You can tell that soil scorched by such fire will never bear fruit again. The gods' given vision demands to be heard, demands to be prophesied to the world. But only a priest may speak to the twins, and for the twins. Will you keep it inside, or will you step onto the path the twins have revealed to you? Somebody shoves you in the back, and you snap out of the vision. You turn around to see a small but decisive troop of commoners, moving quickly through the crowd. They are led by Sophia. As soon as she sees you, she signals to them to stop. So you're here too? Going to rush the college, are you? Can't you see it already? The laws cannot be trusted. They gave you the right to study here just to throw you a bone. When the going gets tough, your masters will take it away, all away. It's time for you to decide. We are the Lotless, and we are not putting up with this system any longer. We will fight for a new world. Are you coming with us? Or are you going to submit to them? There are students and professors locked inside the college. Who knows how long Monroe will maintain the siege? And what if they start slaughtering people? Neither group of nobles will care what happens to them. We're going to go inside and pull them out. Come with us if you're ready to take control of your own destiny. The tension in the square is palpable, and the situation is about to implode. Students, commoners, nobles of the mantle, followers of the new faith, all of them, are gathering their forces to move on the wall of soldiers. They expect the nobles to let them through, en masse. Surely they won't start a massacre. The Lotless, led by Sophia, prepare to break through the siege to rescue the people in the college. And all the while, the priests preach peace to both sides of the conflict. Yeah, keep it up, priest. You're doing great. The college is your own way, is your only way into the nobility. Only you can stop forest fire. No, only you can fight for your new lot and fulfill your duty to your family. You could organize an offensive strong enough to get into the college, and thus seize your lawful rights like a true nobleman. Yet the revelation about the wrath of the gods still pulses in your mind. Once revealed, this vision will take you on a different path. Standing with the priests and preaching what you have just seen, warning all of the dire danger on the path of warring estates, bringing the twins' words to the people and guiding them to salvation. Could this be your new lot? Sophia and the Lotless, they expect you to join their struggle. They are waiting for you to cast off the old ways and the eternal yoke of subservience. If you choose this path, you will not change your lot, and your suffering will continue. But your suffering might just change this world. This is the moment. Your future life will be decided here and now. We may break through the cordon into the college, because we have the diplomacy and valor required. We can preach our revelation, because we've got theology and eloquence. Or we can follow the Lotless, which has no requirements at all. Mechanically, I believe I'm most suited for the nobility. I mean, clearly, diplomacy and valor are my highest stats, which are the ones that are important for the nobility, so I think I would be well suited for it. I'd make a fine noble. Theoretically, I could also be a priest if I so desired, but no, I don't think I would make as good a priest as a noble. Let me just say that. And also, I don't know. not really feel, well, I mean, I was gonna say I don't really feel called to it, but I did literally just have some sort of divine revelation, so I guess if anything's a calling, then, it would be that. And then there's the Lotless. Now here's the thing, I do sympathize with Sophia and her cause, and I think she's a nice young woman. And sure, her cause seems very nice, very just, I mean, I just stuck my neck out for her, I'm not sure what the timeline is on this, but maybe like a few weeks ago. Here's the thing, though, I kind of don't want to be a commoner. Like, it doesn't seem like the best way of life. And then also, it's worth noting that I think the stats required for this path, which granted aren't requirements, but I believe it's probably the shrewdness and deception or whatever. What were they called again? Scheming and manipulation? Yeah, basically the same thing. Those are my worst stats. And I think those are probably the ones that come up the most with the Lotless. So, and also, worth noting, now granted, I'm not sure exactly how this game branches narratively, I could be completely wrong in this, but I feel like I can still be sympathetic to her cause, and also become a nobleman at the same time. I mean, heck, like, wasn't it, one of the, actually, Archean nobles that is actually, like, helping and backing her? So, I mean, that implies to me that I can become noble, and still if I, yeah, granted, my mind may be changed, maybe I'll realize the Lotless don't know what they're talking about, but, I think I can still become a noble and be sympathetic to and potentially help her cause, maybe even better, since I would be a man on the inside. I mean, I know outsiders all the rage in politics these days, but there is something to be said about, having the inside track, knowing the inside scoop, and being able to leverage that towards whatever your ends are. So, among these three, and this is, as I understand it, going to be a very important choice, defining the entire rest of this playthrough, we are going to break through the cordon into the college and pursue the path of the Nobleman. You get to work. Recalling the books on military tactics you used to study as a boy, you call out to the students and children of nobles around you and assume command. They hear you, and they listen. You stand together in close formation and march toward the weakest link in the line of nobles. More people joining you along the way. A veritable phalanx of young men armed with nothing but determination against the noblemen's swords. The noble militia readies their steel. The Archean officer in command of this section halts you and orders you to turn back. You step forward and give him your reply. These people are here to study at the college as the Emperor himself has decreed. You have every right to fulfill the imperial law, and any nobles who dare to intervene will be defying Uther Tempest II himself. Your plan works! The officer hesitates when confronted with your words and your vigor. The noble militia is no longer ready to use their swords. This is your chance. You command your forces to focus their advantage in numbers for a singular push, and the militia line breaks. You reach the college gates. More people start running for the breach. The nobles get their bearings quickly enough to restore the line, but your phalanx is already inside. You waste no time and begin barricading the gates. The students who were stuck inside the college run toward you. You quickly tell them your plan. Block all the doors and windows with whatever comes to hand before Monrogue's forces can get in. If they do get in, only the twins know what they will do. One by one, all the entrances are swiftly barricaded. What if this is like plot twist, this is actually the entrance exam? If you think you should be a noble of the mantle, then prove it! Take it for yourself! I doubt it, but it's probably just some noble overstepping his bounds. Anyways, the riot outside the college has calmed for a moment, it seems. Through an open window, you hear Monroe giving orders to his militia. The Archduke is forming a strong perimeter outside the college, ready for a proper siege. Students and professors of the college go to the balcony to negotiate. You are among them.
Surrender and leave this building. I am not here to kill or execute you. No loyal subjects will die by my hand.
The humans boo and jeer at Monrogue's proposal. The dean himself appears on the balcony. The imperial family established the college, he claims, and cannot defy orders given by the Arcanian Tempest dynasty. And so the college remains besieged. The noble militia stands in a circle around the building, but there are no preparations for an assault. The outrage in the square continues. You remain in control of the college for the entire day, and the following night, but at sunrise the Emperor's herald arrives in the square. He brings news. The Emperor is delighted to see Archduke Monrogue in the capital, yet he demands that the noble militia of Monia vacate the square to allow classes to begin at the college. The besieged college celebrates the news. This is the work of Cornelius Tempest, Great Chancellor, the Emperor's brother. He managed to convince the Emperor to order Monrogue to withdraw. Even the Archduke of Monia, the most powerful noble lord in all the Empire, cannot disobey a direct order from the Emperor. Still, the college would never have held out for an entire day without your phalanx's determination and your daring plan. You, the people of the common estate, have secured your right to study and earn the noble lot. The college is open again, and the entrance exam will take place in a few days. You aren't nervous at all this time. All the lessons at home, the books, the schooling, your own noble actions, all that work and effort has finally reached its culmination. The procedure for appointing a provincial overseer, the 5 great Arcanian dynasties, the property rights of all estates. You answer all these questions with ease. Hours pass, and the dean of the college reads the names of the new students to the young men gathered at the college steps. Your name is among the first. He praises what you did in defense of the college. People like you are the Empire's future, Sir Brante, he says. Sunlight fills the college square. It feels so soft and soothing here in Eterna, not as harsh as it gets in Anazote. You watch the pillars shine in the sky as you walk down the steps of the college. You are a Brante, the 3rd judge in the family, the man who will soon join the family's noble blood tide. You have seized your right to achieve the nobleman's lot. You should write to your father now. He'll be so proud of you. Path of the Nobleman. Okay. Like your father and grandfather, you enroll in the Imperial College, hoping to become a judge and a nobleman of the mantle. Bonds of Friendship. You return to the lodging house one last time to gather your belongings for the move to your new home. A young man dressed in the uniform of the military academy greets you by the door. It takes you a moment to recognize Thomas. Your friend locks you in an embrace.
Brante! Hey, how are you? I heard about the nasty stuff that went down in the college square. Those damn gentry would do anything to keep the lowborn folk under their thumb. Glad the situation resolved itself. As for me, I'm an academy cadet now. He is beaming with pride. You invite him in a chat while you pack. Thomas continues to relay the news as you walk up the stairs. I made it into the top 10. Can you imagine? Did pretty well in sparring and the sciences. It was all thanks to the help you gave me back in school in Anazote. I'll be studying the art of war now. And then it's a quick march to a noble title. How about you?
You tell Thomas about what happened over the past few days, and of the path you have chosen. He remains quiet as you speak. Both of you realize that you may never see each other again.
You know, Brante, here's what I think. You may have your own path in life, but you're my friend. We gotta make sure our friendship lasts forever, no matter what happens to us. Here, I brought 2 brass rings. If the old tradition is to be believed, both the rings and their wearers will always remain close to each other, no matter where the fate takes them. What do you say?
The 2 of you grew up side by side. Thomas, the audacious, hot-blooded, sharp-tongued boy who used to live next door. You can't imagine your childhood without him. But would it be right to promise him that your friendship will last forever no matter what happens? 2 rings made of plain brass lie in his open palm. If you wear these rings, you will be bound by ties of friendship for the rest of your life. Okay, let's see, what do we got? We can end the... Well, we can't end the friendship because... we have... Okay. Gotcha. So... I guess we can't do this because we are noble. Gotcha. We can't take because we're noble. Okay. Swear an oath of friendship. So we'd be bound by friendship. Or we can keep things as they are. Okay, you are sure you will do your best to keep the friendship alive, but you cannot promise it will last forever. Or, you take the ring that will bind your fate to Thomas and swear an oath of eternal friendship. Now, what's the difference between being a friend and being, I guess, a bound friend? Like, I'm not, like, is it just a promise, I guess? Like, yeah, well, through thick and thin, buddy. Well, I'll always have your back. The willpower seems nice. Yeah. You know what? It's good to have friends in the world. And yeah, we could get a bit of willpower, but what's more important? A bit of willpower or a friend you can count on till the very end? I need my Sam to my Frodo. Yeah, anyways. We'll swear an oath of friendship, why not? Why not? You take one of the rings from his outstretched palm. The 2 of you have walked side by side ever since you were children. Even now, you are walking in the same direction, toward a noble title. You as a judge, and Thomas as a warrior. Nothing will ever tarnish your bond. You swear an oath of eternal friendship to Thomas. Thomas solemnly swears the same. You put the brass ring on your pinky. A perfect fit. Thomas follows suit. He starts beaming again. Now, we're friends forever. For all eternity. We gotta celebrate this. Come, I know a place. I gotta show you the tastiest meat I've ever had, Brante. My treats. We are now bound by friendship. Okay, strong enough to stand the test of time. That sounds wonderful. The 2 of you go to a noble salon by the square of Emperor Severin. Surrounded by tobacco smoke and mead bottles, you wag your tongues, recall the days of your adolescence, and make plans for the future. Nobody knows what could be waiting for you, but you promise you will never lose sight of each other. You and Thomas form an unbreakable bond of friendship. Wonderful. Wonderful. You got a friend in me, Thomas. Year 1135. Fall. A letter from home. As soon as you are accepted into the Imperial College, you send a letter back home. The family replies quickly. Their letter arrives in under a week. Most of it is covered with your father's handwriting. I'm proud of you, my son. And I believe your grandfather takes pride in you, too. You have brought our family one step closer to being ennobled by the sword. You will make an excellent judge. I have complete faith in your intellect and your will. You shall bring glory to our family. Stefan's congratulations follow your father's. Congratulations, brother. The simple folk could only dream of what you have already achieved. You can thank father and grandfather for this opportunity, but it was you who proved yourself worthy. Once you receive your new lot, you and I will be equals at last. Then some words of praise from Mother and Nathan. You have brought your father much joy and made him proud, and I am witness to this. You now walk this path, all thanks to him. Yet it saddens me that you do not consider the Divine Seminary, where you could have dedicated your life to our gods as well as the Empire itself. You worked so hard for this. We held a big feast in your honor back home. I hope you achieve all you ever wanted. And at the very end, there's a small note from your sister. Congratulations. Good luck. Nice, maxed out relationship with my father. And my brother likes me. And Gloria dislikes me. The ball. It is only a few days since you became a student at the college. Your education has barely begun when an amazing piece of news surprises all the students. Every year, Cornelius Tempest, the great chancellor and the emperor's younger brother... Yeah, I'm starting to get the impression, now granted this could be entirely wrong, I kind of feel like Cornelius is the one pulling all the strings in the empire, and his brother may just be a figurehead. Pure speculation, but that's where I'm at right now. I feel like we only ever hear about Cornelius. Now granted, maybe that's just because Cornelius is the most relevant to us right now, but I'm suspicious. Anyways. Grants an honor to all future nobles of the mantle, and invites them to a masquerade at his summer palace. The professors and lecturers instruct you to look and act your best in order to preserve the college's honor. They tell you more about the ball too. All who attend it from the college must prove themselves with word or deeds to the members of the great Archnean dynasties that will be present there. This means the reputation of your home province will be at stake too. It's time to get ready. You order a proper suit for the occasion and a mask to go with it. It looks simple, but by no means plain, and only hides your eyes. The day comes. You spend an entire morning preparing for the ball. Your fellow students give you hints about how to attach the cuffs, keep the collar straight, and make sure your hair remains coiffed for the entire night. Soon the carriages start flocking to Cornelius Tempest's summer palace. The tall, ornate outer fence surrounds a sprawling garden in full bloom. The marble-paved driveway is so wide it can accommodate 2 rows of carriages. You and your fellow students walk up the massive stairs to the front door of the palace. You seem tiny and incongruous against the background of the scenic grandeur. The Master of Ceremonies instructs all newcomers to seek their province's coat of arms. You see the banner of Magra from far away, depicting the silver tree digging its roots into the murky gray soil. Below it is a banner bearing the coat of arms of the Melanidas dynasty. I really should know how to pronounce my own home province's dynasty's name, but, whatever. It turns out students from the college were not the only ones invited to this party. You see academy cadets lined up beneath the banners too, and Thomas is among them. A wide grin appears on his face when he sees you go under the banner of Magra. I just knew you'd be here today, pal. What can I say? Congratulations, student. As for me, I'm not so bad off myself, see? The military academy is father and mother to me now. His merry speech is interrupted by a tall, proud Archnean in a heavy cloak. You recognize him. He is Dorius Auton, Sophia's former master. Make way for your commander's soldiery. The last time you saw Auton, he was searching the back streets of Anazote by your house for a girl servant, but now the Archnean's uniform betrays his high standing. He is young, yet he is already the province's commander. Who put him in charge of all the military forces of Magra at such an age? What's wrong? You know him or something? A brief description of Auton is enough to wipe the smile off his face. You see no other high-ranking officials bearing the colors of Magra at this party. It seems Dorius Auton will be the main representative of your province tonight. Joy. You watch the other college students and academy cadets line up under the provincial banners. The blue and silver banner of Archnea, the emperor's own province, is in the very center of the hall. Judging by the hilts jutting out from beneath their belts, many of those who surround that banner are nobles of the sword. Thomas is clearly jealous. The group from Archnea stands proudly, ennobled by its iconic and dignified history. The Archnean race and the Empire originated in their very lands. A sizable group of students stands under the banner of Monia, a wealthy agricultural province signified by yellow grains on a field. Of ore? Okay. The wealth of the young men beneath this banner is plain to see. Their attire is on par with the Archneans in terms of luxury, and perhaps even more vibrant in terms of color. The most numerous group at the party stands under the banner of Elira, a yellow griffin against a field of azure. All the Illyrans are clothed in well-tailored suits with a minimum of decorations. Some of them wear gloves, most of them come from wealthy industrial families, and it seems many of them would feel more at ease in their family factories than at a noble party like this one. 3 banners represent the northern provinces of Fiona, Hermia, and Constana. These banners, like the groups associated with them, stand together. The Royal Tempest dynasty oversees all 3 of them. The students and cadets are clearly well off, yet they are dressed in modest functional garments to honor the austere traditions of the North. And finally, the smallest of the groups is represented by an open book against a field of argents. Argents? That's probably a color. I'm not an expert at colors. Astina, homeland of the Diamant dynasty. By the order of Patriarch Junius Diamant, the open book of the new faith has been added to the banner only recently. Nearly all the young men beneath this banner are clothed in academy uniforms. They wear no adornments, but are clad impeccably with nary a button undone, the embodiment of rigor and restraint. The master of ceremonies signals the beginning of the party. It is time for dancing. The first dance is a minute, and tradition calls for everyone to dance. The harpsichord music fills the halls. The academy cadets waste no time finding dance partners and are soon already making the fluid first steps of the... I presume that's actually the name of a dance. A minute? I don't know. You take a look around. One of the young ladies representing Magra catches your eye. She is slender, like all Arcanians, and clothed in a yellow dress, embroidered with emerald green, her face hidden behind a full mask decorated with bright green feathers. What happens next seems unbelievable. The enigmatic lady walks toward you. The way she looks at you, the way she walks. The black eyes from beneath the mask watch you closely. She tilts her head. There are no words, but you feel there is a question. Everyone in the hall is startled by a sudden noise. You look behind you and see Thomas getting up off the floor, his face a grimace of rage. Dorius Auten stands before him, eyeing him with disgust. His arm rests on the hilt of his sword. Thomas, what now?
Who allowed this clumsy commoner inside the great Chancellor's palace? Its noble masters are trying to dance, and it's getting underfoot.
Thomas looks like he's about to explode in Autumn's face, but the smug Arcanian's sword is a clear threat. If your friend's rage gets the better of him, he will end up in trouble. The enigmatic Arcanian beauty, however, quickly loses all interest in their quarrel. She comes even closer to you, expecting you to invite her to dance. Okay, well, what can we do? We can resolve the quarrel, gain some manipulation, and hey, Auten wouldn't despise us as much. And we do have the diplomacy. We can draw Auten's ire upon ourselves. That seems like a terrible idea. Or we can dance with the mysterious lady. Ooh. Octavia Melandis will remember you. And Thomas won't be happy, but like... Okay, so... let's go over this. Dorius Auten is a noble. One presumably important to us, so it would actually probably be a good idea for him to not hate us. And getting some more manipulation, that's generally a good thing. I already have tons of willpower, but I could get more. I wouldn't mind more. And we would meet Octavia Melandis. And she seems to want to dance. I mean, who am I to refuse the lady when she wants to dance? And obviously I'm not drawing Auten's ire on myself. I mean, Thomas would be grateful, but like... No, I'm not doing that. I mean... You know, Thomas, he's a bit hot-headed sometimes, but, you know, he's a good guy, and... You know, I can't be there for him all the time, and dealing with nobles, especially Auten, is something he's gonna have to deal with if he wants to pursue this path, so, you know, ultimately, like... I mean, I could bail him out now, but then he'd just be weakened for the future, and he wouldn't know how to deal with these situations, so, you know what, I mean, Thomas... So sometimes you gotta fight your own battles, man. Not literally. Not literally. Do not fight a battle. Figure it out. Just don't die on me, okay? Don't die. And I'm gonna enjoy myself and dance with this lady. You turn your head towards the Arachnean beauty and offer her your hand. Taking care not to rush your movements, a moment later, her fingers gracefully come to rest in yours. The masked lady's touch feels electric against your skin. You walk together to the center of the hall where the other couples are already dancing. You bow, and she makes a curtsy. Her hands are incredibly thin. They seem so delicate you fear you might snap them if you squeeze too hard. You jest to her steps, counting the rhythm of the music. Your lady for the dance is an Arachnean, a noble born to rule. Yet this is a dance where you must take the lead. As you walk around her, your eyes catch an embroidered ornament on the arm of her dress. You spy many thin emerald threads, all interwoven into a pattern of interlocking snakes. This young woman is Octavia Melanidas, yes, daughter to the Archduke of your home province. The minute ends. You bow to the lady and offer to accompany her wherever she chooses before the next dance. Why then, be so kind to accompany me for another dance. Before you know it, the night is almost over. Octavia will not let you go. She does not accept another invitation until she has danced with you 3 times. You spot Thomas in the crowd during a break. He catches your eye and salutes you with a wine glass. Judging from his lopsided grin, Autumn must have had him removed from the dance floor. But any concern for your friend is forgotten when you see the beautiful Octavia approaching you again. I mean, she is indifferent towards me, but she remembers me. Octavia will remember this. Yeah, I mean... we'll work on it, Thomas. We'll work on it. I'm prepared for anything, though. I mean... we haven't had many things that required willpower so far, so we'll be set up nicely for later.